You want an investment edge, but all you hear is noise, hype, and half-truths. Every signal is solid information, but only if you can see the bigger picture. This is where the Quasar magic happens. Weather, charts, news, all financial signals funneled into a single dashboard. Data alone isn't enough. Quasar Markets turns it into energy, sharp, clear, precise. Optimize with Quasar Markets today. Your edge when investing.
Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. Good morning, BigBeat. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man. I took my dose of hopium this morning, and I'm happy. You know, I think that's last night I was thinking about this. You know, I was on Wolf Spaces, and you know, it just seemed like everybody's so bullish, and it's like, y'all know what I feel like when everybody's bullish. It's like I want to be the ticker taker at the door, and we're already seeing that now. So this morning, good morning, Ron. This morning, I decided that it's enough. Enough's enough. I'm about to bang the table. This is nuts. This market is literally built on who's it? I don't even know, dude. Make up a name for it right now. It's too much for me right now.
And as Steve's talking about, futures are ripping post-Fed. Tech leads the way. Intel up 30% on an NVIDIA $5 billion deal. Bitcoin back above 117, and the VIX down, and well, now it's at 1510. I did this about an hour ago. Yep. So, you know, 10 years holding steady, Steve. It's actually ticked up. Why don't we start there? You know, US 30-year back up here. Let me share our screen for us. Back up at about 4.72 was yesterday's the lows we're going to see on the bond market.
No.
Yeah.
I think the bond market continues to slip. There's a problem that good morning, Maryland. There's a problem. They're still selling off their well, I mean, you got two problems with the Fed right now, right? You've got a Fed that's gone very political. So, and you've got, I mean, yesterday watching Powell speak was just, I felt for him, to be honest with you. I don't know if he was wearing, you know, Axe deodorant that just kills all sweat. I don't know. He just seemed like he did not want to be in that room.
He cut it off quick. I noticed.
Cut it off quick, yeah. And you know, you're right, Howard. I think in a lot of ways, I don't blame him for wanting to be out of there. This is pure hopium. I mean, people who wanted a quarter point cut got it, right? I think yesterday, Steve Flanagan was asking to beat the table for a 50. The president screamed and shouted on his Twitter and True Social that the world's ending. That he called him an idiot. Called Powell an idiot. That's a problem. You know, this is politics. I get it, but you're. Come on, man. Like this, you are the president of the United States. You don't need to be bullying people. He is chairman of the board of the Federal Reserve. You know, this is not the place to act like a 2-year-old. And then off to London you go, because quite frankly, we now telegraphed this out 2 more. I think everybody in the Fed is now saying 2 more, and then we're done. You saw David. There.
Still in 1 and 26.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
For you.
Yeah, I like that crystal ball. Mine's still shiny over here, but it's still dusty. Yeah, you know, that's right, Howard. When I was watching the show, you know, I call it the show now because that's what it pretty much is sometimes. The second that Powell said risk management cut, I went, ooh. I went, ooh. And I started posting about it. Now everybody's typing in risk management cut because everybody. I mean, I didn't see that in the Wall Street Bet team. I didn't see that in everybody else. You know, that was institutional knowledge, right? Institutions went, oh, wait a minute. What does risk management cut mean? That's something new. And when I heard that, my ears perked up. I went, ooh, I'm probably gonna make I don't know, probably Abby will make a tweet about it or something, but that changes the narrative. His narrative was the same, right? It was jobs, and it was the goalpost of the of 2% inflation. Now they pushed it out for 2 more years. By the way, that's crazy. So they moved the goalpost again. But now he's talking about housing. That housing is an issue. So they've changed the narrative once again to fit their prerogatives, and it's not wrong. The housing market is a mess, and it's because rates. Yes, I know historically they're not high. I get all that, but if you put this in perspective, he's right. And this risk management cut could be a signal to the housing market has been beaten up. That hey, all right, I hear your concerns and I hear the president's concerns. I'll give you that these cuts to help you alleviate that. He mentioned that in his presser that said, look, in 08 and during COVID, we cut very fast all the way to zero for that very reason, right? To help people out, to housing, to help the housing markets out. And it worked. It worked very well. And he acknowledged that. So he's saying, okay, you know what? If there's a housing issue, and there is, then he's saying, I'm helping you. So, I get that, Howard. I'm okay with that. This is not, I thought it was well put together, but he was a very nervous as a chairman of the Fed, an outgoing chairman of the Fed, I might add.
Yeah, I think 5 more meetings left for him.
45, yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I think it didn't surprise anybody. We've got to go into what's going on today here. This, like you said, hopium. And what I brought up to you before we came on is tomorrow. I'm very wearish moving into today's open.
Wearish, okay, I like it. I like that. It's good.
Because what do you think?
Yeah, you're totally right. The sheer amount of options on deck right now that will come off. For those of you who don't know what quad witching is, this is when both weeklies, monthlies, quarterlies, they all start to come off at the same time.
Quad green for them,
right? And all of it does. So there's a lot of people want to look at it as a rebalancing sometimes. In that quad witching, when it comes off, you can either roll them over, meaning that you take your if this is the end of the quarter, in this case, maybe it's a quarterly, you roll over the next quarter, or you assign them as shares, or you take your loss or your profit. So that adds a lot of volatility. But I don't think of volatility will be today. But I think you're right. I think tomorrow is going to be a rough, volatile day tomorrow. Not a normal Friday, actually, if you ask me.
Yeah, and watch for MOCs, market on close, LOCs, imbalances, wider spreads into the close today for sure. Yeah. Be watching that. Plan for it. Make sure you're using limit orders and scaling your entries and exit on this stuff today. So don't get caught behind it. That's why I wanted to bring it up as one of the first things here today. Switching over, let's get into what is rallying here. Tech, without a doubt, leading the way today. NVIDIA. NVIDIA boosting the whole country, right? Because we own 10% of Intel, and it's up almost 30% here now this morning. $5 billion investment. They're going to build data centers together. Right back up at 30%. It had dropped a little bit from there. Steve, are you shorting Intel today?
I don't like shorting stocks like that. That's Americanized, It reminds me, I think I mentioned this earlier this morning. It reminds me of when Microsoft bailed Apple out, not once but twice. And they made a good, this is when Bill Gates was like, hey, you know what? I don't want Apple to go away. I need competition. I don't want a monopoly. I don't want to get in trouble with the Fed, the government. And so here we go, where Microsoft is a software company in a lot of ways. And Intel builds hardware. And I remember the days of Intel Inside. I mean, you did buy a computer with Intel Inside. And this is like watching Bethlehem Steel fall apart, and then companies rushing to its aid and saying, you know what, this is what the president wants. He wants manufacturing in the United States. I like this move. But Intel has a lot to prove right now. You've got to be able to execute. But I do like this move. Will I be shorting it? No. Will I be buying it? No. I think if you were look, if I were to pull Intel up right now, okay, stocks
I
up.
got that on the screen.
Thanks. Yeah, right now the stock's up 30%. Okay, Intel market cap is $116 billion. Okay, Nvidia put in $5 billion, $5 billion, and the stock's up 30%. So that's $30 billion. That's over it. This is what I mean by the hopium, right? You put in 5 and you get 30. It's 6x we got price. It doesn't make any sense.
If NVIDIA was smart, they sold on open.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. See, yeah, and
5 billion just became what, 8?
Yeah, I mean, look, and of course the president's all happy because the 10% investment into the company, and that makes us look. I mean, as a country, right, helps us. But the truth of the matter is that let's see if they can, if they want these chipsets that helps them with their AI and their PCs to make Microsoft computers. I don't know. Are they trying to compete against Dell? That would be cool. Are they trying to compete against Newegg? Okay, great. More competition.
Well, I mean, based on what the market's saying, and I'm just saying what the market's saying, AMD is who they're going after, which is down 5%, TSM down 2.42%, and ARM down 3.9%. Are the only 3 of the major chip manufacturers. So that is where they're
companies.
So those are the markets that they see. It does have the rest of the chip sector fly into ASML, a big winner somehow in this, up 6.61%. And then, Synopsys up 7.48%. And we got just a bunch of them. So nice tech rally so far. In fact, I got some of the numbers. Should have put it up there. It's also got Palantir moving to the upside, AVGO, Tesla, all of them. And like I said, AMD seems to be the big loser in this announcement. Are you so I guess AI and chips are back, Steve, today?
It never went away.
Because as I look at the top gainers today, other ones up there, Applied Materials up 5.42%, Credo Technology Group up 4.56%, QUBT, Ford. I will say the Solana is moved up tremendously today. We're going to go to crypto next as it is, so good segue, I guess. Solana up at 247.06. And, what I noticed is it was led by Galaxy Digital, who is the company behind Ford, the Solana treasury company, with a nice move to the upside today. And as I said, Ford up 2.03% after taking a beating on their announcement of an offering yesterday. So it looks like crypto's back, Steve. Bitcoin back above 117, Ethereum at 45.80 or so. Thank you, Mr. Shore. We always appreciate that, sir. Solana up, like I said, 5.4%, XRP 3.8%. So hopium coming over to the crypto side. Steve, are you selling some of your Bitcoin today, or do you think we're still got more room to the upside?
Oh man, I don't want to. I 117.5 now. Look, I've been saying we're going higher. I still say we go back to 126. That's what I'm shooting for, and I think that's where we are. So no, I am not selling anything this time around. I don't think. I think I'm gonna hold here.
Awesome. Just wanted to get your intake. I'm still bullish myself, very much so. Market looks good today in general. And what we're seeing is we had seen a big pull off in open interest across the futures. They now have sort of started to climb back in, but not all at once. So in a very healthy and good way here. So I'm liking what I'm seeing in crypto in general, although I think we could see a little bit of profit taken at the cash open. Especially across.
How about the dollar pushing up here, 97.30? Yeah, we talked about that in detail with Steve yesterday, Steve Flanagan, and it was interesting. I had a nice chat with him yesterday afternoon, just me and him, not on the show, just me texting back and forth, and he said, "Look, this is the end. Like this, we're gonna see the dollar come back up now." And when you see.
Absolutely.
when you see moves like this with Intel and Nvidia and Microsoft, and you see these deals going through, and you see the bond market 4.116 now on the 10-year, this portends to the dollar pushing back up. Now this is smart here, so I like this. I was just came up a second ago that heavy truck sales are slumping. That's always a big sign for a recession, by the way. Why? Because we use trucks to move product around the country. Just ask FedEx and Amazon, right? And DHL and all those companies. So, it's coming, and I think people need to prepare for it. And I think what's happening is the narrative that's this excitement for AI and the excitement for technology, of which I'm Mr. Technology. So anybody, says, "Oh, well, you're not for technology. Come spend an afternoon in my office," right? That's a problem. And if the president's saying he wants to make this a manufacturing country, then you need to have trucks on the road. And if those sales are slumping, then we have a problem. John Deere's another example of that. Although I do think John Deere's undervalued, though. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Earnings movers also today. Darden, a company you and I are a fan of in general.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Donut. So my pick for the most undervalued stock is Krispy Kreme, DNUT. I mentioned that yesterday, and it's up 9%, 8.5% right now.
What's its symbol?
DNUT.
Look at that, yeah. How did you get on that one? You couldn't pay me to buy that stuff. That's like least healthy thing in the world. It goes against everything you've been talking about on the show.
It's interesting. I'm texting her now. Carolyn Woods. I will be on the street.com at 11 o'clock today, and she continues to ask me for undervalued stocks, and I said, let me give you a private one that no one knows about, and that's Donut, DUNUT. And I said, look, it goes against everything I've been talking about, which is the weight loss drugs. It goes against, but it kicks off cash. It does all the things, and it's undervalued because of what? Real estate. And I thought that was a great stock pick. And I was going to reveal that on the street.com. And
it still hasn't even broke yesterday's highs in the pre-market. So it was already at this yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday's highs were 348. It's at 341. So it's still got a 50-day MA. Yeah, Krispy Kreme. That's it. Yeah, you got me on that one. I wasn't expecting that to come out of your mouth. And tick is slightly down. Like I said, Steve, you and I were talking before. We both sort of feel the same way. Watch for some pullbacks today. Yeah. And it's not necessarily an indication on the market. It's more about profit taking and getting ready to reestablish yourself after quad witching. Institutions will take advantage of this to end their quarter, right?
100%. Yeah.
Cracker Barrel, Steve, still facing pushback since their logo change. Another one that is down today.
The CEO, she admitted she made a mistake. Look, we're human. Did she make a mistake? I think she tried to do the right thing, but it just came off the wrong way. Look, it's imperative to hire well when it comes to marketing, because marketing is a big deal. And especially if your thought process is you want to change a logo that's been around for so long. It's why I struggle with, our own logo. I don't want to change it, right? Because once I set that logo, that's the logo forever, right? And it's what creates that understanding and that brand and that naming. And when you look at it from those eyeballs, this is an amazing product.
One, because as you know, logos also get stale sometimes.
They do. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard thing to do, right? Yeah.
Some companies have seen huge uptakes after updating and things like that. For me, this could be a buy the dip company right now. If we're headed into tough times, Cracker Barrel offers affordable food. And believe it or not, Cracker Barrel has good, healthy options. Like they cook all their vegetables in house every day. They make their salad fresh every day.
When I go there, I'm all about getting that catfish, man.
Fried steak, the
I
country
gotta eat
fried.
that catfish, man. Give me the fry that catfish up, man.
Yeah, but you can eat healthy for those of us that are trying. So I'm interested here in Cracker Barrel. I've got to be honest with you because I do think the brand resonates and it will bounce back. I think it has strong brand loyalty. They spoke last quarter, but I think that will come around. CrowdStrike up nicely here today, Steve. After their investor day yesterday, did you see anything there you liked?
Not really. And I've said this for a while now that for me, it's all about security and making sure that you have a secure phone and secure your data secure because it happens out there. It happened a couple times to us. Nothing ever happens. It's just it's annoying, but we live in a world now that if the criminals if they just put as much effort in not being a criminal and being into actually working,
right?
You'd be surprised what they could probably get done, but they can't help that.
Yeah.
What's interesting for me, and I bought yesterday, Howard, was Apple. I bought it again. I bought 240 calls for next week, strike. So I like that, the weeklies for next week. So I like this move here. I will tell you that yes, sales at Apple are off the charts. Not for the new iPhone Air. I'm excited because I'm getting my new phone tomorrow, which is below away. I don't know. I'm gonna pry my cold dead hands from my Samsung here, but yeah. But you know what? I went full boat, which I don't ever do anything. But AirPods and a watch, I'm going to go to the ecosystem. Why? It's American. Okay, let's go American. All right. And I feel like that innovation has come a little bit closer now. Yes, the cameras aren't as good as Samsung. Yes, there's a little bit of trade-off. But I also believe the ecosystem. So when I look at companies like CrowdStrike, their ecosystem is built around those ecosystems, right? Meaning that once CrowdStrike is implemented into Apple's back end, all of a sudden billions of people now have Apple, and it's easy, right? So I like that. Look for companies that have big ecosystems.
Yeah, it's funny for me, CrowdStrike, because what happens inevitably is, they can be the best, and they are probably the best at cybersecurity. It's still eventually there's a hack, and anytime there is, they're the ones that everybody points the finger at, and the stock craters. So I love buying it after that bad news. So I hate to say that, but that's how I tend to play the stock. Is I wait for the inevitable bad news, and then I buy.
Not sure what's going on in Apple here, but we're seeing a pop here again.
Yeah, Apple is trying to break through the VWAP here right now on the low.
I'm a little upset myself because CoreWeave now at 121 here share.
All the crypto stocks moving up tremendously today. CleanSpark up 4.2%. MSTR up almost 2%. Hood Coin, Mara, all of them up to the upside, like you said. BITF, Bitfarm up 12% here this morning. I saw the BMNR up 4.4%, SBET up 2.1%, Circle up 3.3%. We'll say we are getting ready to send out an exit on our BMNR covered calls at Prosper. And we got out of our BTDR yesterday. So we've hit them pretty good with the Bitcoin mining companies lately. Mag 7, NVIDIA up about 2.5% here on that move, 174.51. Apple, as you said, Steve, up about 40 basis points so far, trying to break above 239. Microsoft up about a quarter of a point. I did notice, Steve, Microsoft to me is a little interesting too, if you're looking sort of longer term, right at its 50-day MA support, bottom of the daily linear regression. I was just kind of looking to see if there was any value left in the Mag 7, and I sort of came up as Microsoft might be the one that right now is the laggard you can look at. Amazon too, but tariffs worry me too much about Amazon right now still.
I'm just seeing here that Business Insider has just named the top 10 cities and I'll post that here for you. Top 10 cities hardest hit by inflation, and look at the number one.
Where you live.
Yeah. I don't think I see that. Not nearly as much as I do in, say, like New York, which is on this list as well. But wow, yeah, Apple. What Apple's really popping here? Do we have some news here?
Tim Cook is with the president in England at the royal dinner tonight. That is the only news that I've sort of seen so far. Ron, have a great day, man. But that was the only thing that I've really seen on it so far this morning.
That'll do it. Yeah.
And I will say it was interesting to see that in tow with the president is, Jensen, Tim Cook, a bunch, missing a bunch of them, but there's
missing Mr. His right hand man, his best friend, Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon's definitely not there, but a lot of U.S. businesses there, so we should see some interesting announcements too. That is one thing I'll also say that throws into the volatility and the possibility of a continued rally through the weekend is, do they announce, more U.S. company getting contracts over in the UK? It does seem like those two, the president seems to have a friend in England these days.
Look, Steve Flanagan happy about Intel. Yep, I agree.
There you go, Mr. Flanagan. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Intel for sure, moving nicely to the upside. We are 1 minute from the open. Tick is slightly negative. Advanced decline nicely up 26.54. Like Steve said, hopium in the ear this morning. Q's off the highs of the morning, but still up 82 basis points. SPY up 40 basis points. Gold 36.53 right now. Bitcoin was, still 117.5. So, everything moving to the upside, including treasuries, though. So, again, we do have sort of everything moving to the upside today. DXY for you, Mr. Flanagan, in case you weren't looking, 97.34. We are open.
There we go. There goes Apple.
I'm going to stick on the Qs here, right, for the first minute or so. Pretty muted start right there. Not a whole bunch one way or the other. Dow Jones opens pretty much flat on the day. Tick is slightly negative to start off at. Advanced decline didn't really move much here on the open unless this thing is delayed on me, which sometimes it does do. DXY continuing to move to the upside there this morning. So dollar looking strong today. Nice recovery. Mr. Flanagan did call that. Intel a little profit taking down about 5% from the morning's highs. But we do still see moving to the upside here. SNPS moving back up after taking a little bit of a hit. ASML pretty flat so far, but up about 6%. See a little profit taking in applied materials. Seeing some little bit of profit taking, it looks like so far.
People just don't know what to do right now. They're very nervous.
Significant profit taking in open door here this morning, down 2.35. It was an early morning riser this morning, trading at just below $10 now. Darden down about 9.17% here. AMD not finding a floor yet that I can see. Nucor is another one that was down, Steve, 4.43% after giving some negative guidance. A lot of the Chinese names that were the high flyers yesterday are giving back those gains. Bilibili down 4.16%. Baidu down 3.33%. Li Motors down 2.14%. You see Apple retracing after making a nice pop up above 241 there, but looking pretty positive in general.
I think people are just nervous right now. They're just trading. I think they don't know what to do. Remember, we got quad witching again tomorrow, so It's
Yep.
very, very concerning to a lot of people. Profit taking could be really rough today.
Bitcoin just went positive past 117.5 again. So nice to see that. Same thing, Ethereum popping off to the upside here. So crypto getting a little bit of love. We'll mention total market cap back above 4 trillion. Whoop, whoop, whoop. For the second time in the history of Bitcoin here, or in the history of crypto, above a $4 trillion market cap.
And part of me just wants to sell everything.
Hey.
This market is just out of whack here. VIX is popping a little bit. I think people are it's just too much for me.
VIX is moving up a little bit here for sure. Gold pulled back a little bit here today, Steve, 36.48. Silver back down at 41.66. So we are seeing a little bit of a pullback.
Where did it go to? 43, and then I didn't sell. It's on me.
Bitcoin back above 117.
Apple now the lows of the day. Yeah.
If Ethereum can break 46 here, could have a nice little run up to 46.50, 46.80 with some liquidations below it. So you do have some upward movement there. Intel might have found
BREA has been halted here. BREA.
Herrera Holdings. Don't know that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one though. That one already wicked up to 1484, so its short squeeze went.
With a volume of 71,000, so be careful there, folks.
And this is one that came off of a split. So these are those be risky for me.
Yeah, I don't touch them.
Carvana on watch here. Miss Charlie Moon says if it breaks 390, watch for it to set an all-time high here today. So keep an eye on CVNA.
Not too happy about Apple here. Not too happy about Apple selling here a little bit. That was should have took that profit and ran. CRWD now still pushing here. But Apple should push back up here. 117.6 now on Bitcoin.
Yep. Intel's back below the VWAP here now, 31.56, the level it needs to regain there to get back into the positive. Seeing profit taking on the big high flyers, Synopsys, also ASML, AMAT, Credo still moving to the upside here, 175.02. Set matched an all-time high earlier. Qubit moving to the upside too. So quantum computing, the company and the sector seems to have some strength here today. Although I did notice Pony AI was way down earlier, so I wonder if it still is. Bouncing back a little bit, but Pony AI is down. Rigetti up 5.7% here today also. Man, Figure, FIGR up another 4.33% here, trying to move back up. Had a nice day yesterday. Iron moving to the upside also here, another 1.33 in the game, setting another all-time high. They are part of that connection with NVIDIA and Intel. There you go, Ethereum 4,600. Nice little burst to the upside there, but seeing some selling here right at 46. Need to hold that level. Solana trying to break out to the upside here. 250 is a psychological barrier, though, to keep an eye on. Man, Avalanche taking off here, 33.39. This one I've been trying to pick up for the last 10 days, and every time I go to buy it, it jumps on me. not judge the pullback on that one yet. Tick's gone positive here. Advanced decline 24.63, so bouncing back. Dixie is at 97.45, highs of the morning here. So again, Mr. Flanagan, where does it stop here? Are we going right back up towards that 98 range here on the Dixie by the end of the week? Do we break 98? Take a look at this morning's pumpers. ETNB up 85%, 89 bio. On a takeover by Roach. Wow. That's a big one, Steve. Those folks just hit the lottery, huh?
Yes, they did.
Nice move there. ETNB is that ticker. Do not chase at this point.
Palantir's at 175 here.
Chemotherapy's up about 11% here. Trying to see if anything. CrowdStrike, as Steve talked about, up 8.98% now here, still moving to the upside.
Dollar is pushing hard here.
Whoa, nice move up by SharpLink Gaming, up 7.3% here this morning. We're getting now up 6.87%. So we do have some nice winners here today. Etsy up 4.31% here this morning. Nice move back to the upside. Marvell up 4% here. Nice move up on this chip news. Ethereum struggling to hold above that 4,600 today. That does seem to be the resistance right now. Circle up 5.27%. We are in a covered call there. We're about to, I'm getting a note from Scott Bauer, about to turn that into a call condor. Oh, good Lord. I'll be spending the next hour explaining that to people. Steve?
I can do it. It's like this. It's like this. That's how else I can explain it. When people ask me, this is it, right? Where your calls, but your broken wings, so your calls are higher, and
Yeah. So that was how I'll be spending the rest of my day. MSTR up 2.7%. Crypto stocks. Iron is pulling back here. Profit taking definitely there. Profit taking on BTDR also down 2.66. Happy we got out of that.
Up, but now Tesla's in the red now.
BMNR up 8%. Another one that we are in here. Take negative 200, Steve. So we are seeing some selling. Dow Jones is up 2 basis points. SPY up 35 basis points. Qs have come off the high of the day, but still up 70 basis points. Small caps keep on winning, Steve, up 82 basis points here today.
Yeah, I mean, that's people are looking for alpha, and that's what they're looking for, and they're finding it, and then they're right. But I also find them that's when you have to go searching for alpha that hard, that tells you everything you need to know about the markets overall.
Yep. Although they are also the biggest winners when it comes to they use the most treasury. You know, they need the rates to be as low as possible.
Qs are dropping again.
Yeah, Ethereum dropping down after breaking that 4,600, unable to break away. Same thing, 117.5. So we are seeing resistance come in on the crypto side. Looks like the same thing across the stock market also. We said this was going to happen, though. Look for some profit taking here today. Look for some repositioning as we get ready to head into quad witching day tomorrow. Steve, today after hours, we do have FedEx, Lennar, and forget the other company that's doing
Gold's still dropping here. So is silver.
Steve, we didn't talk about two things that we had in the open to talk about. A little bit of healthcare spotlight. Ozempic now showing to help be a 23% reduce the rate of heart stroke and death in older males. What do you think there? Good fan Novo Nordisk up 6%.
I'm happy about that. I don't want to die of a heart attack. I've already got enough stress in my life. Look, and I think that's good. Everybody here knows I'm on those two, and so look, I've always said in the future we'll have drugs. You take a pill, and life will be good, and it'll balance everybody out. And here we are, right? And they're only getting better and better with AI, like even EU and better. So yeah,
awesome. Tick is still slightly negative here. Advanced decline has come back down to 2,000 or so. Q's at 590, 422.
Apple down the red.
Yep, we are seeing everything sort of slip off here this morning. Nvidia off highs of the day.
But the world's going higher. Everything's going higher. Everything's going higher. People need to stop. Yeah. I thought there was a more hawkish tone in the Fed than we had seen in the past.
Yeah, I thought Powell yesterday definitely did. I was a little surprised. I thought it was interesting that we did not see the dissent by Bowman and Waller. Were you surprised by that, Steve?
No, it's just getting political. The whole thing is political. The whole Fed is out of whack. It's not making any sense to me. When things don't make sense, I like sitting on the sidelines, and that's what I'm pretty much doing here today.
Yep, I can't.
And you're seeing the VIX now jumping here at 33 now. You could see the VIX really jumpy here. As gold is just gold and silver is dumping right now.
Wow. Yep, we are seeing a sell-off.
I mentioned that yesterday and got bullied around on another show and saying, "Oh, no, don't tell people." Listen, this is what's happening. I mean, the hopium is just out of control, right? The world, rates are going down. The world, we're going to be a borrow. That's not why we lower rates. You lower rates because the world's not good. You don't lower rates because the world's good. Banks need them. I mean, everybody needs to eat. So when you look at the world, look, I know everybody don't. You have your thoughts about the banks. Everybody has their thoughts about the banks, and the banks are changing. But this is what's happening, folks. We markets don't just keep going up, up, and up. And I think that's what we're starting to see, is that people are starting to realize that maybe the end is near.
I don't know if that's what they're saying. I'm not arguing.
I'm saying it.
Right. Okay.
They need to think about what's going on here. Yeah. Look at Apple just completely dropping. Look at Q's just dropping here.
Yeah, they are. We're just moving to the downside here across pretty much the broad spectrum here. Same thing, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We might have seen our highs of the day, but again, that's what we sort of called for earlier. I mean,
yes, we did.
Doesn't necessarily, surprise me in any ways. Tick is gone slightly positive here, nicely positive, 320 now. So maybe dip buyers, maybe we do see it the other way.
I think maybe a little of a bounce, but I don't see much more than that.
We'll find out in the next 15 minutes or so, right? So
yes, we will. But I think with oil dropping again, 63, 66 now a barrel, I just don't see it. Yeah.
Q's coming towards the lows of the day here, so we are losing a little bit of steam, as Steve's been talking about it, down about 1891 or so on advanced decline. Tick still slightly positive, so we are seeing a little bit of buyers here. We'll say Intel is back up about 26%, and S&PS starting to bounce back up to the upside a little bit here.
Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that.
We do see a lot of those crypto names retracing pretty quickly, darting down about 9% now here this morning.
Bitcoin 117 again. I mean, we just dropped like what, 800 points?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tick up about 230 here. I think the market's good here.
And we just keep moving to the downside.
Yeah. Tick now 500 here.
Advanced decline back up to 2287. So we are seeing a little bit of buy the dip here right now.
A little bit, yeah.
Q's moving back up towards, just broke VWAP and moving back into the positive, up 87 basis points. So I got to say, like we said, you know, hopium is still there. That's why.
Oh, there's still buy the dip mentality. Don't get me wrong. But when I say it, so I said yesterday, like retail is buy the dip, institutions been dumping. And when you can see where the dump happens, they're just dumping, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They lull them in the pre-market, and then they just dump right on them.
There you go. Look at this. Look at Marilyn getting filled on her circle.
There you go, Marilyn. Nice, nice. That caller 70. Yeah, I gotta look at mine, Phil. And Marilyn, I just sent out a final exit on BMNR. Also, final exit on that. Yep, sending it out right now. There it goes. Sorry, a little double duty here this morning. You, Steve, trying to break up to the upside here, still up 88 basis points. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a little bit of buying come in.
It's looks like to me like a little bit of a sucker rally here to me, but I don't.
You think they're trapping them in?
Yeah,
Put it past them. It's not like they wouldn't do that.
Tesla now positive here.
Well, I guess the good news with Mr. Musk not going to England is he has time to spend running the company like people want, right? Earning that $1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
Maryland. Some people have got out at 360 on that BMNR. So definitely both of those great little wins for us. Love it. Bitcoin bounced back up here. So Ethereum, like I said, it's been resilient so far. It tried to flush people out both ways. We're seeing mostly chop, to be honest with you.
Sideways. When I was asked yesterday what my thought process over the next weeks and months are going in the end of the year, and I've said it flat out that it's going to be sideways. We are going to be in a sideways chop all the way out. So that's my thought process here.
Yep, it's tough. I know that Dan O'Brien over at Prosper, who does the future stuff, he's been just saying like you got to not trade right now. They're just getting chopped up. They're just chopped up, and that's what I've been preaching is patience on the crypto side. Is to accumulate on these dips, but swing traders, it's tough to be a swing trader right now.
Yeah.
You either got to be scalpers. The people that are scalpers in my room are killing it. The people that are long-term accumulating are setting themselves up and are up in general overall and also setting themselves up the right way. But our swing trades, and what it is, it just takes forever to happen. We were in Solana for 3 weeks before it broke out. We've been in Chainlink for about a week and it hasn't broken out. It hasn't broken down, but it hasn't broken out yet. So you got to be patient if you're a swing trader on the crypto side. Tick down about 260 here. Dow Jones up 2 basis points. SPY up 33, and the Q just seems to have some sellers at those higher levels there. So each time it gets above 295, it seems to get knocked down pretty quickly here. So that seems to be the sell wall so far. Tick slightly negative still. Dow Jones just went negative on the day. Carvana. Mentioned that early Charlie Moon call, 395.93 here, said if it broke that 390, watch for it to run to an all-time high, which would be 413.33. So he's nailed that one. Carvana, keep on going, baby. 395.40. Yeah, absolutely slayed that one. Intel still pulling back a little bit here, 31.03. This is one you can sell a debit spread against maybe right now. Steve, Lennar down 68 basis points going into earnings this evening. Any, what do you think comes out of their earnings? Should be a good tell sign for the housing market, right?
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think for me, it's all about guidance.
Yeah, I want to hear what
that's about guidance. Yeah.
Could give us insights now. You know, again, as rates drop, it is a big boon for those builders because they don't have to give up margin that they do to buy down rates. They can cut that a little bit. So it is a boom for them. I also just wonder, you know, but when do builders not have the advantage over the general resale market, you know?
Not yet.
Yeah. Bitcoin resilience, Steve's 117,350. It looks like it wants to chop around that 117.5 area today, but holding nicely above VWAP. So love to see that. Gold 30
holding here. I mean, Palantir's up 4%, but everything else is not holding. Nothing. I mean, whatever's going up is going down. I mean, it's these buy the dippers are about to get smacked. I think. I really believe that.
Hey, Credo, about the only thing I see that's really holding up really well from the morning movers. Form also, which is form factor. CrowdStrike, actually. CrowdStrike's breaking out up 10%. So there are a few. Clack breaking out also. Not many, like you said, and a lot of the bigger names are the ones that aren't able to hold up so far.
Ticks up 650 though.
Yeah, like I said, buyers are coming in. Buy the dip mentality is there. People are trying to position themselves. It'll be interesting to watch as we go into quad witching. You know, tomorrow again. Be very careful this afternoon. You know, make sure you're setting yourself up correctly because tomorrow there will be a ton of volatility as expirations hit the index futures, the index options, the equity options, and the single stock futures. All hit expiry tomorrow. Expect volume and volatility spikes at the close today at 3:45 to 4 o'clock is when you're going to see that movement, right, Steve?
Tickets up 700 here, 800 here, and I'm not seeing a move here. I am getting very concerned about this market. I've been watching it all morning with a hawkish eye here. This is starting to really bother me a bit.
Well, it's the CrowdStrike. It's the ones I just said that are still breaking out. CrowdStrike, Clack, Rigetti, Qubit, Credo. It's that second level just below the Mag 7 and my things, the $30 billion market cap guys and down. I mean, by sector here, as we're getting ready to end our day, all the sectors are up except for
U.S. leading index now coming out at minus 0.5%, expected minus 0.2%. Previously, it was plus 0.1%. So the leading index indicators are starting to slip a bit too here.
Bitcoin back on 117.5 here. Steve, it just looks like chop. I think that's what we're getting. That's what we're saying. You know, we keep on figuring out what's going up, what's going down, but they tend to be hitting at the same level here.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
For Quasar Markets, BigBeat and I will be back in the morning. We'll see what we got for Quad Witching Day. You gonna wear your scary outfit for me tomorrow, Steve?
I wear it every day.
Have a great day, traders. We'll see you in the morning.